I think that we're experiencing a real psychedelic boom. We're calling it a renaissance, some people are calling it.
So there's thousands of years of history of people working with psychedelic medicine for healing trauma, for deepening in community, for practicing spirituality.
So when you look at the research, the outcome of what's coming out of Hopkins, Imperial College in London, NYU, UCLA, the results that we're seeing are pretty astounding. With psychedelics, the idea is really like, let's feel that, let's sit in it, let's feel it in our bodies, and let's process it and move it through in a way that doesn't get the amygdala and the part of your fear center of your brain kind of lit up and screaming that we're in danger again. So it's really a reprocessing rather than a suppressing. Whereas we used to work to try to get people to have less symptoms by suppressing them, we are seeing people come out of those studies symptom-free in large, significant numbers.
Plant medicine and psychedelic medicine come from generations of indigenous use.
And we're advocating for responsible stewardship with psychedelics as they're integrated into society.
In order to honor the way in which they've practiced medicine and have ceremonial use, we need to consider how to integrate that into more general public and mainstream use. Is there a world where we can have a regulated therapeutic model and coexist with a community use communal model? Decisions around policy, around use, around access should absolutely be determined, curated, and stewarded by people of color. Largely because this medicine, at least in our country and in North America, were historically shepherded by people of color.
Healers, who, are largely indigenous folks. There's not a lot of excitement for this work to be co-opted by the medical therapeutic industrial complex.
And when the general public is gobbling up media and consuming information about therapeutic use and research being done out of universities and the power of psychedelics, I think that we need to always remind folks to say this, we are not pushing the psychedelic movement forward so more white kids can do more drugs at festivals.
What's happening in Colorado, there's just a conversation of how can communities work with government officials and political actors to make sure that the rights and the power to actually choose and develop healing infrastructure in community is actually vested in community. That legalization basically means permission to commodify. Working to give people more broad access to holistic healing pathways.
It makes me really sad, honestly. A lot of the folks who could really benefit from these medicines are never going to be able to access them.